So this is that same bison that I've been working on. We kind of had some troubles. My tarp blew off and my frame got broke. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is go ahead and take it off of this broken frame, which makes kind of that strategy that I use where you just loop that over the screws really nice, because I'm just going to pop it all off and then I'm going to put it in a pool of some water to start rehydrating it so I can get it restretched into a new frame. Okay, so you can see how we have just kind of made a little kiddie pool out of this tarp. It's not quite big enough to submerge the whole thing. That would be ideal, but what I'm going to do is just go ahead and soak that in, and then I'll drag it down and soak that in, and it should get it soft enough that we can get it up into the next frame. So I did put a little bit of salt in there just to help to deter any bacteria that might want to set in, to decrease the chances of hair slippage. Obviously, anytime you've got your hide wet, you've got some chances of slippage. I'm also using this doTERRA On Guard Cleaner Concentrate as just an added bacterial prevention. Essential oils help to slow that bacteria growth, which is kind of one of your biggest enemies at this point. You can see I went ahead and just left all of the string on it for putting on my frame, and I'm not actually sure, I've never done that before, so we'll see if that actually saves me time or if it just makes a mess. So to be continued. So a friend gave me this trampoline frame, and we are going to try using this as our frame to replace the one that broke. So right now we're screwing the sections together. Which our screws are breaking off, but they seem to be locking the pieces together before they break. So we're gonna go with that and see how it works. There's probably a more official way to do that, but this is what we're going with today. So we'll let you know how it all comes together. The bison hide soaked all night long in that little tub. You can see how dirty the water is. It's crazy. I think it's just all dust that's been blowing in the air while it's been up in the frame. So that was a good little rinse. It's pretty soft this morning. It's definitely soft enough to put in the frame and start stretching on. So we did get that trampoline frame put together. So I laid out another tarp next to the pool to drag this on. Now I'm going to dump that pool out. Use that tarp to put under the frame here to try to prevent as much of this vegetable matter and junk and dirt from getting into the hide as possible. It just makes it easier to clean later. So I'm gonna lay it out on my tarp. I'm gonna do a little bit of a non-conventional framing method today. I think what I'm eventually gonna do with this trampoline frame is get some S-hooks that I can put into the spring holes, and then I'll attach my string to that. But for today, since I don't have that and this is soft now, I just need to get it up. So I'm probably just gonna zip tie the loops that are already on there into this frame. A little bit of experimentation. We'll see how that works. It'll be an adventure. I'll show you how it looks when we get it going. So I've got the hide all laid out on this tarp, and we'll see if I'm going to be able to use what I've already got it strung up on, or if I'm going to have to take all of that out and restring it up again. But that's going to be my process now. I've got a bag of zip ties that I'm going to use to see if I can get these strings attached to this frame. So a little bit of experimentation today, and hopefully it all comes together. So this little method of using the zip ties to reattach this hide to this frame is actually working amazing. So as you can see, I've already got the top section done, and it's probably taken me like less than 5 minutes. So yay, I think this is gonna work as long as I actually have enough length to get everything attached. I'm not sure if this frame, you know, like if it's going to actually be bigger, smaller. So hopefully I have enough length to get it attached all the way around. But I'm feeling super encouraged, so it's coming together. I'm actually really surprised. The zip ties worked amazing, and I thought for sure I was going to have just a mess of knotted up strings on my hands, but I didn't, and so we have got it all stringed up here. Definitely the round trampoline frame, as you can see, I have so much extra string, so I just used way less. So that's interesting. I didn't necessarily expect that to be the case, but I'm also not a geometry expert, so wow. Yeah, all the way around I've got coils of extra string that I didn't use, so you can put that in your back pocket. It seems like that might be a good way to be able to use less string in your framing. So as you can see, I've covered it with wet blankets because it's super hot today, and so these are soaked in water. I also put on some more of that On Guard cleaner concentrate because I'm really wanting to slow the growth of bacteria today because it is so hot and because it is wet. So I'm just going to let it sit. There were just a couple parts that were still pretty crusty. These parts that are exposed are on the downhill side, and so I actually have standing water on them. You may not be able to see it in the video. So I'm not too worried about those parts, but I'm going to let this kind of sit and relax with this first framing, and then I'm going to come back and tighten everything down nice and snug. And then I'm going to start doing some scraping to just start opening up some of those pores to get this hide ready for the tanning mixture. So today I'm going to be using egg yolk, oil, and soap. So we'll come back and do that.